People ask me all the time, what's the difference between a cinematographer and a camera operator? Well, it kind of sometimes depends how big your set is, but let's get into it. The simplest way I like to think about the differences between a camera operator and a cinematographer is that the camera operators focus on executing while the cinematographers focus on shaping and guiding directions. And this becomes super critical when it comes time to communication on set. Iced coffee, just to prove the temperatures. Yeah. A great camera operator is living in the moment. They are leaning in on some of those instincts they already have coming up, many of them already as a cinematographer themselves, but when they put on that camera operator hat, I expect them to do as they're requested, but also when coached properly, say, hey, be there. If you see something I'm not seeing, go ahead and pan over, go ahead and tilt up, give them a little bit more headroom. To me, a great camera operator has their own eye, but yet puts on the hat of, hey, what are you asking me to do? And maybe I can elevate what you're asking me. Recently did a shoot where we had 6 cameras and my role was the second unit DP. Typically that means you might be executing just the extra shots, the B-roll shots, the fun shots, but this was a live show, a live cooking show. And the main cinematographer was leaning in and lifting me up to say, hey, what are you thinking? And I was the head of our other 5 camera operators during that moment saying, hey, if we get coverage from here and here and here, this would be good. And you, so-and-so, you have a great skill. I love your handheld work. How about you come over here to cover this section? And you, so-and-so, you do great at this. I can lean on you to know that you're going to be getting the content we need. It's getting to know your camera operators, learn their style, and lean in. We can't just talk about camera operators, we also got to talk about cinematographers. Here's some of my thoughts on cinematographers. The cinematographer is in charge of the intent, the consistency, the leadership, and of course, how we work with the director. From working with the director, translating the story and the tone into a visual language, the cinematographer is in charge of not just making decisions about what camera we're using, what lenses we should use, what type of camera movement is this project going to have, and how to execute that. And most importantly, the cinematographer is in charge of the continuity, to go from one day to another, to keep the same tone from each location to another, or just throughout an entire day. To take a scene that you're watching for 2 minutes, that was captured from morning to evening with multiple different actors, different camera lenses, multiple locations, and making sure that it feels all consistent. That takes the kind of attention to detail that the cinematographer is in charge of staying on top of, while the camera operator is there trying to remember, you know what, we kept that one talent always on the left side of the frame, and we typically shot the last scene with her with a 28mm, just like what I'm shooting on right now, a 28mm. If the scene feels different from one day to the next, it's not on the camera operators. That responsibility is solely on the cinematographer. You can blame your camera operators, but it only gets you so far. So where does the confusion come in? Let's break down the confusion. Whether you're on a smaller project with more strict budget constraints, more often than not, the cinematographer is wearing more than one role. He's also probably doing the camera operating, and that is okay. Sometimes it's preferred. Multiple times on shoots where I've been hired as a cinematographer, not just because I have a good eye for lighting, but also because I have desired handheld work. I'm a big fan of the Easy Rig, the contraption that you wear on your body and it holds the weight of the camera, and that movement to walk with talent or movement through scenes is something that takes practice and certain skill sets. Now, did growing up skateboarding and all this, skating and snowboarding and filming that kind of content help? I think so. Plus all the sports I've been doing growing up, all this kind of mobility stuff really does come into play later in life as you grow as a cinematographer. But yeah, many a times, smaller budgets and smaller crews where myself as a cinematographer also wears the hat as the camera operator, the responsibility just gets added on to more people. And that's okay, but can also be slightly dangerous when, let's say, you add another role onto yourself as the focus puller, and then you add another role onto yourself as the guy who needs to put the slate in. And then you're on set and you realize you didn't maybe press record or something. It's important to have those positions filled so that your mind is freed up to focus on what's most important in those roles. When I get the opportunities to work with camera operators and stay back towards a monitor and give those directions, like working on this job inside of a school with our Steadicam op, hey, saying this is what we need to do. We need to move the camera in. When this person comes out, then you start taking steps back, doing this, and then rotate over here. Giving him that direction. It was only possible sometimes because of the blocking we did in advance and or reacting on something we see on the set during that day, whether that's a limitation because of hallway doors, you know, only being on certain sides or whatever the limitations may be. But when you get to split up those roles and just wear the hat of a cinematographer or just wear the hat as a camera operator, I think overall you're gonna get a better quality image, but it can be done if you have to do both. That divide of hierarchy is not there to say, hey, I'm better than. It's just there to maximize communication so that we're all on one goal, to serve the story from the director's eye. And we're the people there to help execute it with our skill sets, whether it's from lighting, camera control, or, you know, just don't forget to use your eye. You're here creatively. You can see things. Hey, you know what? What happens if we flip the camera to the other side? When the roles are clear, a director won't have to translate their vision twice. They'll know who to talk to about intent and who to talk to about execution. Cinematographer, camera operator. And knowing these differences can save time, money, and stress. But that's not all. And so what's the difference between a camera operator and a cinematographer? Well, it's not just that a camera operator takes direction and a cinematographer gives direction. It's not just the hierarchy. It's there finding the best people using the best tools to help elevate and create the strongest project possible. And if you want to see some of my work as a cinematographer, you should check out stevenscgreathouse.com. Thanks. All right, peace.